Hi, classmates. This is Deanna.
Hey guys, this is Brett, and welcome back to episode 49 of Hard Lessons True Crime Podcast.
Once again, my brain thought it said 43.
Well, my nines kind of look like a 3.
Yeah. That's my brain.
So, Teach, how was your week?
My week, like I'm reliving it through my brain.
Yeah.
Well, with the full moon, it was crazy. But otherwise, it was a typical week where you have more work than time to complete it.
And yet, you got it done.
I got the majority of it done.
Right. Well, that's just job security. You got to leave a little for the next day. That's what I always tell people. Did you get finished? No, but it's just job security.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's not how my brain works.
When I used to work at a company here in town, I won't mention any names for those local that are listening, may get upset. But anyhow, so they had a quota, and you had to hit a certain number. And I got not in trouble, but kind of a stern talking to one day when the boss asked me if I hit the quota, and I said, yeah, as a matter of fact, I think the quota was like 80 or 85%, something like that. I said, matter of fact, I got 100% of my work done today. And he was like, well, why didn't you go for 120? And I said, would y'all have paid me 120%? No. Then there's your answer.
There you go.
Apparently I had the wrong attitude.
I could see that. Getting defensive.
Not
just sitting here.
Yeah.
Oh well.
So are you ready to learn? Teach has been excited about the More You Know this week because I told her it has to do with her favorite animals and owls.
Oh, yes.
So you ready to?
I might file this in a different filing cabinet.
This one you might actually retain.
Yes.
Have you ever wondered why owls turn their heads so far around?
To see.
But do you know why?
Because they can.
Because they don't have eyeballs.
Well, then what are those things on their face?
They are elongated, rod-shaped eyes that look like tubes, and they can't move them. So to be able to see, they have to move their head.
But the things are eyeballs.
They're eyes. They're not.
They're eyes.
They're eyes. They're not eyeballs.
Oh.
They're like long tubes.
I think they can move their eyes.
That's why they move their heads around.
Huh. That's weird.
You're going to be watching owls now, aren't you?
I know. I'm going to be like searching some on Instagram so I can watch them. Like that's really interesting. Good job, dude.
Thank you, lady. I actually have to give credit to that to JG and Kat from the Box Oddities because
So
I learned
it.
No, I learned it from them, and then I looked it up myself.
Oh, did you give them credit on your paper?
I am now, verbally. Thanks, Kat and JG. Not that they're ever going to hear about it, but
They might.
They have a segment because you know how he always does a story, and then she does a story, and then in the middle they have a segment called That Thing in the Middle, and so that was
the thing in the middle.
They were doing weird facts about animals, and that one came up, so that's where I got it from. All right, are you ready to hear about this international serial killer?
I am. I'm excited. Class is in session.
I knew Teach would be excited because she's over here doing her happy dance. One of these days we need to video record us so they can just see behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Not really.
Would love it. No, they need to see us. Maybe we could get more people to listen. Or maybe we need to make it more interesting.
You said I'm not interested.
I'm just saying.
That's fine.
I don't know.
All right. Glasgow, Scotland,
Ooh,
February 23rd, 1968.
long ago.
A man on his way to work noticed something unusual in the doorway of a garage.
Now, was their garages like our garages?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just making sure.
Looking closer, he realized that it was a nude lady.
It's in February.
In February in Scotland.
It's cold.
She didn't move. She didn't cover up. Matter of fact, she acted like she didn't even see the man. And that's because she didn't. She was dead.
Like she's probably dead.
Her face.
She's the story.
Dun, dun, dun. Her face and head showed signs of extensive blunt force trauma.
Ooh.
Autopsy revealed that she had been strangled to death by a strong object, possibly a belt.
Okay. Like, yeah, okay.
Yes, ma'am. The woman was identified the following day by her father as Patricia Docker. Patricia, a married mother of one, was estranged from her husband and was working as a nurse.
Oh.
She told her parents that she was going to go out and to meet some friends. She was going to go out and meet some friends, have a girls' night out. This was a Thursday, and so she headed to the Barrowland Ballroom in Glasgow.
Ooh, part of it's still open.
I don't know.
Okay.
Every Thursday night, they had their 25 and older night, so you had to be at least 25 to get in. I don't think I said this a while ago, but Patricia was 29.
Okay. I figured she was over,
She had to be at least 25. Right.
And mother of one.
And here is a picture of Patricia. Don't worry about the other pictures over here.
She's a cutie.
She was a cute lady.
I bet that was her wedding.
Oh, you know what? That type of hat she's got on? I bet so. Okay. We'll minimize this. Do that.
So I can't see it. I'm not going to look.
Oh, I know you're not. But I'm just getting it ready for the next
one. Oh,
okay. Went to the Barrowland Ballroom.
25.
Customers there said that they remember seeing Patricia, but they didn't recognize the man that she spent most of the night talking to.
A stranger.
Said that the only thing they can remember about him is that he kept repeating Bible verses.
Okay, that would be a little bit weird.
Yeah,
uncomfortable.
Just a little bit. So police started a door-to-door search and found a witness who sometime during the night, early morning hours, heard a female scream, "Leave me alone," but did not act upon it. Just rolled over and went back to sleep.
So they were canvassing basically where the area
body
she was found? Okay.
Yes,
I didn't know if
which,
like a witness from the ballroom.
Right. Which, sadly, was only 50 yards from her house where she was found.
Oh, somebody else's house, huh?
Yeah.
That is sad.
And so, as a friendly reminder, classmates, if you hear something, say something. You hear a lady 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning yelling and screaming for help, go ahead and call the police.
Please.
Let them earn their keep.
Well, it's just the right thing to do.
It is. Patricia's clothes were never found. Her purse was located in the river cart by an underwater search team, and her watch was found near her body.
Was it off her body?
Yes.
That's weird.
Yeah. The only thing that she had on her body was one shoe. One shoe.
That is very strange to take everything off but one shoe.
Mm-hmm. A post-mortem, which is what they call an autopsy, revealed that Patricia Uh, it was confirmed the strangulation was the cause of death. Her body showed no evidence of sexual assault. The stage of rigor mortis on Patricia when her body was found showed that she had been killed not long after she left the Barrowland Ballroom, which was just past midnight.
And she was found at what time?
6 a.m. the next morning.
So she hadn't been dead 6 hours ish.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't long after she left the ball. Now, the person that said they heard the female scream and leave me alone said that was sometime between 2 and 3 in the morning. Yeah. So that could have been.
It could have been her.
Her, it could not have been her. Who knows? She could have already been dead.
Yeah, this is true. But what a coincidence.
What a coincidence. Last thing about Patricia for now, found underneath her body, was her feminine napkin. She was menstruating.
Okay. Well, she was stripped of her clothes. I guess they didn't want to take that with them. I mean, you would think he would just wad it up with her knickers.
Right. You said knickers. Man, you're getting into this Scotland thing.
No, they call them knickers.
Are you getting a little peckish?
Nope.
Shout out to our brother-in-law, Robert.
Yeah. They're pale, by the way.
It does not. We learned that last Christmas when he asked me if I was getting peckish. I said, no, I feel fine. He was like, no, are you hungry? A little bit. So yeah, that was found underneath her. So now we're going to fast forward just a bit, unless you have something.
No, it's just all kinds of strange. All kinds.
It is. On Saturday, August 16th, 1969, so about a year and a half later, 31-year-old Jemima McDonald decided that, you know what, I need a night out. So she heads to the Barrowland Ballroom. The ballroom. Jemima, a mother of 3, left her children with her sister, Margaret O'Brien. Jemima had been seen at the ballroom in the company of a man, well dressed, late 20s, early 30s. This man spoke with a Glasgow accent.
So he's a homegrown.
So he's a homegrown fellow. And as many witnesses said, he worked Bible verses in his conversation when he spoke. Worked in Bible verses.
I wonder if he was seeing these people as sinners, and he was trying to lead them the right way.
This is Jemima.
Aww.
Like I said, she was
looked pretty good for a lady with 3 babies.
31-year-old lady. And I don't know if I said this a while ago when I was introducing her, but she is divorced.
Oh no, you didn't mention that.
Okay, yeah. So she is a 31-year-old divorced mother of 3. Her sister Margaret is watching her kids for her. She goes out to the ballroom.
And she is seen speaking to this well-dressed man that uses
works Bible verses,
scripture to have conversation.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
I think the scripture killer is at it again.
Shortly after midnight, Jemima was seen leaving the Barrowland Ballroom.
With this man?
With this Bible speaking.
The scripture killer.
That's right. Margaret, Jemima's sister, became concerned when Jemima didn't return that night. Later the next day, she heard rumors that young children had found a dead body in an abandoned house not far from them on Macheath Street.
Holy cow.
So she does nothing on that Sunday except to worry about why her sister hadn't come and picked up her kids. She hears that rumor. Then on Monday morning, when Jemima still hadn't returned home, Margaret didn't call the police. She goes to this abandoned house to look for herself.
Oh, Lord, I hope that body's not still there.
There she finds Jemima's badly battered body lying face down, her shoes and stockings laying beside her body.
I can't believe the kids didn't go tell the cops.
I can't believe Margaret waited from all day Sunday and into Monday without calling the cops saying, "Hey, my sister's missing."
Maybe she thought she tied one over really, really well and needed, to recoup.
Yeah. All these people are talking about the rumors of, hey, there's a dead body in there, blah, blah, blah. But nobody called the police. Again, you see something, say something. It may be a rumor, but let the cops do their job, what they're getting paid for, and go check it out.
Yep. Poor girl. No telling how many people went and gawked at her.
Mm-hmm.
Poked at her.
Post-mortem on Jemima showed that she had been a victim. She had been a victim of sexual assault.
Oh, no.
She was beaten and kicked all about her face before she succumbed to strangulation, possibly by one of her stockings. It didn't leave as big of marks, but they could tell that was her cause of death.
It was strangulation.
Mm-hmm.
So he escalated because the first one was not sexually
assaulted.
Yeah, and so this one is. And all that was found was her shoes and stocking.
Well, she was fully dressed.
Oh.
The only thing that was off of her was her shoes.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood that part.
Yeah. Okay. Even though being fully dressed, her clothes had been torn. So they were torn, but she was still dressed.
She pulled up a big old fight.
Yes, ma'am. I'm going to say that she did. Those Scottish women, they're known for not giving up too easily.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
Not that the women in the United States wasn't that way in '68.
Right.
I heard several stories of my mama throwing things.
I would not have crossed your mama for any amount of money. That lady was little, but the saying, dynamite comes in small packages.
Yep.
Hoo-wee.
Yes.
I wouldn't have crossed your mom like later in life when I met her, much less back in '68.
Yep.
No, thank you.
Tippers. Come right on.
Yes, you do, love.
Anyway.
On her left elbow, police got to looking and found her feminine napkin. She was also menstruating.
Put it on her elbow
or underneath? It was underneath her left elbow, but it had stuck to it.
Oh. Maybe it's due to doctor or something.
That's a good possibility.
Well, what would that have to do with it, though?
Initially, Glasgow police noted the similarities between the murders, but said that they did not think they were related.
Okay.
Well, because one was sexually assaulted, one wasn't. So, my gosh, these are not related.
There's more
connecting than not connecting.
Yeah, what do they call those?
Tying together.
Yeah, but what's the fancy word for it?
Connecting?
No.
Okay.
Anyway, how they know, hey, this is actually, it's very similar to this case. Because feminine napkin, age range, strangled. Those things are telltale signs. Is it?
We need Dr. Spencer Reed.
Yep.
I can't think of the word, but I know what you're saying. Now, this did create a first for Scotland. These two murders. Not the two murders themselves, but for the first time in Scotland history, a composite drawing had been compiled by witnesses at the Barrowland Ballroom of the man that Margaret was with, or not Margaret, Margaret's sister, Jemima was with.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not the first time a composite had been done in Scotland, but it is the first time that composite was released to newspapers and TV media for broadcast.
Okay.
Get this out.
Well, that's good.
That's
good.
That did help out.
Let's leave the first one out, but
exactly. Now we're going to scoot forward a few months to Halloween, October 31st, 1969. A man is out for a leisure walk with his dog.
Oh, no.
And discovers the body of a female. The body was behind a tenement, a house.
Yes.
In the Scottstown district of Glasgow.
Okay.
Her nude body was found next to a drain pipe in the back garden of her own home. Now, I was like, backyard.
Yeah, they call it a garden. But it looked better than ours. But anyway, that's
extensively beaten about her face, raped and strangled with her own stocking. Sound familiar?
Yes.
The contents of her purse were scattered on the ground around her, but the purse has never been found.
It was a token.
The grass stains on the soles of her bare feet told police that this lady had put up a fight.
Good for her. I hope she whacked the dude hard.
When you said that a while ago about I hope she fought, when we were talking about Jemima, I was like, well, I know one of them did. However, on her upper right buttock was a deep bite mark.
Oh, definitely escalating. I wonder if the second one, there was something, because the clothes was on. So,
but yet she was still sexually assaulted.
Yes, well, you can push that stuff up. I'm saying, why was
and it was torn, but
why was she not stripped naked?
I don't know.
See, was the third one feminine product found?
The body is identified as 29-year-old Helen Puttock. 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 And,
well, we're doing the best that you can, because we don't know how to pronounce things like that.
And here.
And this was in the backyard?
Is Helen.
Oh, cutie. She looks feisty, or did look feisty.
Right.
Is that her and her family and the baby?
And her baby?
She came to the backyard with her purse. Maybe she was coming home from something. That's why she had her purse. Where's her shoes? This dude likes to wear her shoes.
Yeah, so maybe he's like Jeremy Bustos, the foot fetish killer.
Oh,
we'll cover him at some point.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
The evening before, so on October 30th, Helen, a divorced mother of one.
Okay, there has to be, watch it be a preacher. A preacher did it. Quoting scripture. Who else would these ladies go to? And
but would a preacher really be at a ballroom? Come on now. I don't know. Remember Charles Lowry going to the OCB?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what.
That's right. Hey, Charles, we love you. Anyway, so the evening before, Helen, a divorced mother of one, along with her sister, the other one had dealings with the sister.
Yeah.
Her sister, Jean Langford, went on a girls' night out to
the ballroom.
Barrowland Ballroom.
Maybe it's somebody who works there. No, they would have said something.
While there, each sister met a man.
Uh-oh.
Both were named John.
Oh, gosh. Is that a common name?
I don't know. After dancing and talking the night away, the four left the Barrowland together. the man Jean, the sister, had been talking with, lived in a different town. So after leaving the Barrowland, he left and headed to the bus station, catch the last bus home. Two sisters and the other John shared a taxi ride.
Okay.
Jean lived the furthest away, so it was decided that she would be dropped off first. Makes sense, sort of.
Nope. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The male, when there's a male and two females, the male is dropped off first all the time.
Well, I'm thinking Helen was kind of digging her John, so she was like, "Sis, you going home?"
Oh, she was wanting to.
Yeah. See, now, one thing about the Barrowland that I discovered, locals, and I don't, like I said, I don't know if it's still open or not. Somebody over in Scotland listening, let us know. But locals would often refer to it as the hookup bar.
Oh.
Because married couples would go and hook up. And so Jean.
So it was like oh my gosh, okay.
Jean, the sister, is married.
Mm-hmm.
Like she wasn't separated from him. He was married.
Yeah.
And so he had stayed home with their kids plus Helen's child.
Okay.
And so maybe that played into the Jean saying, "Hey, I need to get home quickly."
Yeah, that makes more sense. And right. She wasn't there with him. She just wanted to go have fun, maybe.
Right. So Jean would let detectives know that Helen's John, he was what they call in Scotland a teetotaler. He hadn't had a drink all night. No alcohol. Everybody else was drinking.
Was he talking in scripture?
And continually quoted the Old Testament, especially stories of Moses. Referred to the Barrowland as an adulterous den of iniquity.
See? Now I'm questioning, why did he go after her and not Jean? She was married, or maybe he saw that divorce.
The other two were divorced. Or the first one was separated, the other one was divorced.
Yeah.
Brian. He also often shared his disapproval of married women acting single, even those that were married but yet divorced or separated.
So see, he was targeting those ladies in there.
Yes.
Huh.
When asked if John had a last name, Jean said that he did say it, but the band was playing so loud I couldn't really hear him. It's either Templeton, Simpleson, or Emerson, something along those lines. Remember that. Remember that for in a little bit.
Okay.
Helen.
Okay.
The body that was found was menstruating, and her feminine napkin was found close to her body.
Okay.
Jean described John as being between 25 and 30. So the other one said late 20s, early 30s. He had red or light-colored hair, approximately 6 foot tall, well-dressed, and medium built. Also described him as having overlapping front teeth. So like one tooth over the...
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so that did match up with the bite mark on Jemima. Good police work there.
Yes.
Let me pull up real quick. Not the bite mark.
Oh.
The sketch that was drawn
of this man.
That is right there. Now,
that's a really good sketch.
That is a very good sketch.
Holy cow.
They had some good artists.
Yeah, they did.
And so if somebody's like, "Man, I haven't heard the name of this story yet," and so for those listening, maybe even in Scotland, this is the story of Bible John. Yeah, he is
Scripture killer.
the scripture killer. This is when you take the Bible way too literally.
Yes.
Red, light colored hair, approximately 6 feet tall, well dressed, medium built. Now, police, because even like in Jemima's murder, the witnesses said that he was very well dressed.
Like a suit, maybe, when he was going out. Maybe that was the thing.
Exactly. So the police contacted tailors in the area.
Sorry, that does not mean class is over. I accidentally.
Was it a fire drill?
No. No.
Accidentally hit the bell?
I accidentally hit the bell. Any other time, it wouldn't have done that.
Right. Police contacted tailors in the area to see if they knew of anybody they had.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Had hit the fly, man.
So they contacted a tailor to see if they
several different tailors in the area to see if they recognized this man. They did not. Several suspects over the years, but most notably, see if you recognize this name because we just watched a documentary on him. Serial killer Peter Tobin. That man that he would hire somebody to come and sit with his wife while he was gone to work or whatever, or gone out.
No.
Don't remember him.
I don't remember.
Let's see if you remember his face.
I don't remember this at all. Oh. Did I watch the documentary?
Mm-hmm.
I must not have been paying too much attention.
Now you recognize him?
Oh, yeah, because it was the second wife that they were.
Right. She was a lot younger than him. He was violent, not only in like day to day, but like sexually.
Yes, and he made her stay home with everything locked, and then one day she was able to escape. Okay.
Yes. He was a suspect, and for good reason. He's from Scotland. He spent time at the Barrowland.
Okay.
And because they said Bible John quoted scripture, but yet wasn't churchy. So, yeah, I don't know. What does that mean? I don't know what that means because he was also quoted as being a teetotaler.
Well, a while ago you said that word teetotaler, and you said he didn't have a drink.
Right, yeah, teetotaler. He doesn't drink.
I thought teetotaler meant that you are sloshed to like.
Oh, well, Gene described him as not drinking and called him a teetotaler. That's really teetotaled the line.
Oh, okay. I probably have it wrong. I'm okay with that.
Maybe Gene did because I'm just reporting on what she said.
Maybe it's slosher. Don't get sloshed.
There you go.
Maybe, I don't know.
So Peter Tobin worked at a church as a maintenance man.
Oh.
So he would be around. And it was said that he liked to hang around with priests.
Mm.
Another thing that had connected him is on his victims that he was convicted of murdering. He assaulted them. He stabbed them. He sexually assaulted them. And then before killing them, he strangled them to death. Okay. All three of these victims were found strangled to death.
Yes, but they were beaten.
Right. He assaulted them. And then sexually assaulted.
I think assaulted is beaten.
So how are these three murders linked? All three had been at the Barrowland. All left with the assumed killer. All three of their purses were missing and never found. All three were either divorced or separated, and all three were menstruating.
Okay.
Now and now back to John. Nope, Peter here.
Okay.
I told you to remember the names Templeton, Simpleson, or Emerson.
Uh-huh.
That's what Gene thought John had said his last name was. One of the most used aliases by Peter Tobin, John Simple.
Mm.
So, loud music playing in the background, that could have been what he was saying. However, Tobin was eliminated as a suspect when it was discovered that he had moved from Scotland to England before the first murder.
Oh.
And then others are like, yeah, but it's not that far, blah, blah, blah. But DNA was taken from Tobin because in the sexual assaults, Bible John left DNA.
Oh.
And his DNA that was found at the crime scene did not originate from Tobin. So he was officially taken off as a suspect.
So I'm wondering how this Bible John knew that they were menstruating.
See, that's one of the wildest things people like discuss and talk about is like, how did he know they were divorced? How did they know they were menstruating? How did they know they were moms?
Well, maybe it wasn't that in depth, but it's the place that they would go is notorious for married, divorced, or separated people.
Right.
I mean, that's what it's about. So, I mean, you got to draw that conclusion that he knew why they were there.
Exactly.
But it's unless he had a heightened sense of smell. I mean, I hate to say it, but there's an odor, not all the time bad, but
Right.
you know.
Now, and also others have questioned if this was all three done by the same man. Um, they say, well, he killed the first one in February of '68, and then didn't kill again until August of '69. It's a year and a half. And Jeffrey Dahmer killed his first victim in the '70s, and then waited until mid '80s to start killing again.
No, it's because maybe he suppressed all that. Maybe he got married. Maybe whatever.
Yeah, one theory was maybe he got arrested for another deal and was in jail.
Well, maybe he was traveling and he was trying out these different assaults on other people, other women.
So Jeffrey, nope, I'm not talking about Dahmer. Bible John to this day has not been identified.
What? I thought you were leading up to finding him.
He has not. None of they ran the DNA through all their computers and everything, and has not made a match. They have not been able to identify him. This is still open.
So it was just those three women?
Just those three women.
Did they branch out? Maybe there was other areas was similar.
Yeah. Now everybody is a suspect.
Well, of course.
And so I had to, while researching this case, I had to get a hold of my baby sister, Nicole, because she just married a man from Scotland. What do we know about this man? He's from Scotland. He's older than my sister, and
I'll buy that much.
And other than that, we don't know that much about him. I mean, he seems to be a good guy, but everybody said Chris Watts was a good guy, right? So I had to contact Sis.
Robert is not.
And Robert has a very legitimate alibi because these murders happened in 1968 and 1969. And I'm happy to report Robert was not born until 1970. So unless he figured out how to get into our atmosphere while a fetus.
Our atmosphere? Our timeline?
Yeah, whatever. He couldn't have committed these murders.
No, there's no doubt that he could have done it.
So, Robert, if you're listening, number one, we like you.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, you're cleared as a suspect in the Bible John case. What's crazy to me?
Did he Did his family even live near
Well, I don't know how big Scotland is, but they didn't live in Glasgow, but
there? Oh, okay.
or Glasgow.
Hmm.
But you know what's crazy to me?
What?
Robert had never heard of this case before.
Well, there was only 3, and it was before he was really
Well,
old enough to understand.
that's true. And Jack the Ripper was before my time, and he just had 4 more murders than this.
Yeah, but there's a huge difference between Jack the Ripper and Bible John. Like a huge difference.
Oh, and another thing that was separate from Peter Tobin and Bible John, Peter Tobin actually buried his victims in his backyard. Bible John left his victims out in the open to be found easily. So
there has to be somewhere somebody
got away with it.
Mm-hmm. Maybe he just moved off. Maybe he was a missionary.
Oh, I didn't see that theory, but that's a good one. I did see because he was well dressed,
Well dressed.
spoken verses.
Yep.
I did see maybe he got arrested again on another charge and was a life imprisonment type deal. One theory is that he got sick and died.
Well, all this could be true.
So that is the story, the unsolved story of Bible John.
So, what if you were to tell these people, have you thought about the ancestry DNA thing? Well, if they have his DNA, that's how they're finding these people now.
That's how the California, the original Stalker, not Richard Ramirez, but
yeah, the original, the older.
That's how that was finally solved.
Yeah, they traced him down to a relative. I'm like, hey, people in Scotland, why don't you try that?
There you go. No.
Reach out to the United States, I guess. I don't know, or whatever.
Right. We want to help.
Yeah.
We want to solve these ladies' murders.
Yes. I
mean,
don't know who you would contact, but.
Have you ever heard the story of the Somerton Man? I'm not going to go into great detail because I may cover him someday on a host choice. But basically, a body was found on a beach, I believe, in Australia.
The well dressed.
Well dressed, no identification, no.
But he.
Well, no. He was recently, his identity was recently found out through Ancestry.com, like in the last year or two. So, and he was found like back in the 50s. So this had gone 60, 70 years without being discovered. And so.
This would be, you need to let them know.
Heck yeah. My bibliography for this week.
Yes.
Deadline.com, BBC, the British Broadcasting Company, developing drama series on Bible John. FT, which stands for FinancialTimes.com, Bible John, the creation of a serial killer. Very interesting article. CrimeLibrary.org, Another Try, Bible John, Scotland's serial killer. And a little bit of Wikipedia information, but not a lot. A little bit of Wikipedia.
What did you get from Wikipedia?
Helen's birthday.
Oh, okay.
But I wanted to note that I used it.
Yeah, fully understandable.
So that is the story, the unsolved case of Bible John. So, Teach, what is my grade for this week?
There could be an A on it.
Sweet.
That was a good one.
It was so interesting to research.
I just.
I think
poor ladies.
I know it. There was one article, and they were talking about how it was a. Oops, sorry. Still class isn't dismissed. Just reaching over to grab the bell. They were talking about how the true horror of this is that they feel like the ladies are being forgotten.
Yes.
And I could not agree more.
They are. They valued. All right, so I've drawn for next week.
Yes, ma'am.
True crime.
True crime. All right.
Yes.
Well,
this will be interesting.
Have to come up with something good to match Bible John.
Yes.
And it'll be our 50th episode.
Ooh. We need to do something cool.
Yeah.
I have no idea what that would be because we don't get any input from anybody.
Speaking of that, classmates, I have an empty email folder. Hard Lessons, HARDLESSONS, TCP for True Crime Podcast at gmail.com. It is feeling lonely and would like to hear from y'all. So, and Teach and I would like to hear from y'all also. Reach out to us. Let us know what we're doing good. Let us know what we're doing bad. Be gentle on the bad.
No, we want to get better so we can grow.
That's
and,
right.
You know, maybe co-host with another big podcast thing.
You know what would be cool?
What?
Aliqua Jazz, maybe we could do a collab with y'all Sunday soon.
Yes.
That would be awesome.
It would be.
So, just heads up. Yeah, like Teach said, we started this as a hobby, but we didn't realize it was going to be as fun as it is. And so we do want to get better. And if we're doing something that is annoying you, if we're doing something that like, hey, if y'all change this, maybe y'all would get more listeners. Let us know because we can't fix what we don't know. Now, don't tell us our voices sound stupid because we got those from God, and there's really not a whole lot we can do about that.
No.
So, but let us know, and we will come back next week with another true crime story.
Heck yeah.
Classmates, we love y'all and love hanging out with y'all, even though we never see you. We love hanging out with you. Have a great week.
Class is dismissed.
Maybe.